You don't have a lot of time, but you still want to learn a new way to express yourself in English every day? I get it. And that's why I created English Express. This is your host, Danny, and this is English Express. Every day, we'll have a very short episode in which you will learn a new way to express yourself in English. Never stop learning, even if you don't have a lot of time for it. Listen to English Express. This is your host, Danny, and welcome to a new English Express episode. In this episode, we will talk about expressions we use to talk about learning from experiences. You can find the transcript on my website, EnglishPlusPodcast.com, and better yet, if you are a patron, you will get exclusive episodes, series, and resources to take your English and learning to the next level. You can find the links in the description of the episode. And now, without further ado, let's talk about those expressions we use when we want to talk about learning from experiences. So, first, let's start when something bad has happened. But instead of getting upset by that, you decide to learn from it instead of just being upset and whine all the time or complain. So what do you say? What is the expression you can use to talk about something like that? You can say, I have decided to put it down to experience. When you decide to put something down to experience, that means something bad has happened, but you decide to learn from it instead of being upset by it. So that is learning from experience, right? But that's not everything. What if you don't know what your position is or what your situation is with someone, and it is kind of worrying you? You want to know, right? What do you say? You can say, I just want to know where I stand. That's all. I want to know where I stand. So here we have another expression, know where you stand. All right, but that's not all. What if something happens or someone says something that makes you think very seriously about it? Isn't that something to think about? Well, yes, it is. And here we can use an expression by saying, given me food for thought, or give me food for thought. Like when we say the events or your suggestions have certainly given me food for thought. And now let's learn another expression. What if something bad happens to you and you decide you will never let it happen again? Why? Because you've learned your lesson. When I say I've learned my lesson, that means something bad happens to me, and then I decide that I will never let it happen again. Why is that? Because I've learned my lesson. That is the expression. When you learn your lesson, that means you never let bad things that already happened, you never let them happen again. Because you've learned your lesson. So that is if you've learned your lesson. What about teach someone a lesson? When you say, for example, that will teach him or teach her a lesson. What does that mean? That means someone does something stupid which affects them in a way that they will never want to do it again. So it's kind of like mirroring the fact of I've learned my lesson and that will teach them a lesson or teach him or her, obviously. But that means they did something stupid and now they know it is stupid and it affects them in a way they don't want to have that situation again. So they will never want to do it again. That will teach him or teach her a lesson. Okay? But sometimes it's not about a lesson. It's about a message. You can use that to say, for example, I think he or she's got the message. What does that mean? That means someone finally becomes aware of a fact. And we use that often with unpleasant facts, with unpleasant things. We're not talking about got the message when it is a great thing that is happening to your life. Not at all. We usually use that to talk about unpleasant facts. So you can say, I think he or she's got the message. Or you can say that about yourself, of course. I think I got the message. I got it. I understand. Stop telling me about what I already know. Something like that, okay? So I think he or she's got the message. That's also learning from experiences. And one last expression for today's episode, and that is when you tell the true facts to someone who has believed a different set of facts up to that moment. So you set the record straight. So remember, someone believed a different set of facts, but now you tell them the true facts. You tell them because you want to set, or we can also say put the record straight. So again, remember we talked about put it down to experience, know where you stand, food for thought, learn your lesson, teach someone a lesson, get the message, and set or put the record straight. These are the expressions we used for today. These are the expressions we use to talk about learning from experiences. So that was everything I wanted to share with you in this English Express episode. Don't forget to visit my website, EnglishPlusPodcast.com, and check the great learning opportunities you can find there. There is the Activity Center with daily fun activities, quizzes, and logic and math puzzles. And if you decide to become a patron on Patreon, there's a lot more available only to patrons, like the exclusive audio series, among a lot of other benefits you get when you become a patron. All the links you need are in the description of the episode. What are you waiting for? Take your English and learning to the next level and never stop learning with EnglishPlusPodcast.com. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. This is your host, Danny. I will see you next time.